Road trip? Hell yeah. Good morning. Today we're heading up the Gold Coast and then onto the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. We've got about 269 miles to do. It says it's going to take us about 4.5 hours, but it's going to take us a little bit longer because we'll have some stops and some mooches on the way. But we are heading on quite a straightish road. We're heading on the highway, the M1, which you're about to see is very different from the M1 in the UK. And this is our base. Morning, Julia.
Morning. G'day. Which I never say normally.
Here we go. Julia's now doing all those things that we're all supposed to do for a long journey. The air, the water and the oil. And I very rarely do it. I did say that I won't help you with the air because I have this tendency of letting more air out than I have of putting in. So probably not the best idea. I'm just going to stay put.
I don't know her, honestly.
So we're currently on the old highway, which is a bit freaky because 28 years ago I would have been driving on the other side heading towards Sydney. So we're now on the M1 in Australia, obviously, not the UK. I'm really struck how green Australia is, especially being it's summertime, but you may have heard me say the other day that summertime is their rainy season over here. And up there on that hill, that pylon is where we were the other day at Lions Park. So this is our first little stop for a nice drink and a little look around New Italy Museum. It's just about an hour into our journey. So New Italy is so named after the pioneers, the Italian pioneers that came here with a lord from Spain originally. They went to Spain to come here, or to Papua New Guinea, with the promise of a new life and buildings, and it was an ill-fated trip. Many people died on the way here, but they ended up eventually, those that survived, on the shores of New South Wales. And they established Little Italy, or New Italy, here. So the New Italy story began in 1880 when farming families from the Veneto in northern Italy were beguiled by the Marquis de Rays to purchase land and homes in the phantom paradise of La Nouvelle France, an imaginary kingdom in the Bismarck area. In July 1880, 50 families, 340 people travelled across France to Spain to board the India, an old sailing vessel departing from Barcelona to the Promised Lands. And the expedition arrived at Port Breton in October, and the voyage took 3 months. Conditions were so shocking that nearly 100 died and were buried at sea. The rest were confronted by deprivation, no shelter from the torrential rain and meagre supplies. And the next 4 months saw terrible suffering, illness, starvation and many more deaths. In desperation, the half-disabled India set sail for Australia. Needing food, the ship put into Nemo, where the authorities impounded the vessel due to its unseaworthiness. The English consul contacted Sir Henry Parkes, who sent the steamer James Patterson to rescue the contingent. And on Friday the 8th of April 1881, 217 of the original 340 emigrants arrived in Sydney, destitute and in poor health. These survivors founded the settlement now called New Italy. They were capable colonists and thrived on the barren land, building homes, digging wells, growing diverse crops and fruit trees, raising cattle and sheep, cutting railway sleepers and producing wine, cheese and salami. And by 1888 the thriving community had a school, post office, church and 2 wine shops, a lucrative silk production called sericulture and even a bicycle club. From hope to despair, the disaster of New Ireland. Says, can you imagine taking responsibility to pack up your whole family and move to an unknown land? It took desperation, hope and faith. and everything took a long time. There were no planes. A slow ship that took 3 months to cross the ocean. No phones, let alone internet, and no one could provide photographic evidence of what actually lay ahead, which wasn't a lot. The actual area of New Italy that they landed in was an area that previous pioneers had rejected because it was so barren. But still, these amazing people didn't give up. They made it work. They made the land work for them. And these are some of the people. And Julie was just saying it was hard enough when she emigrated, knowing having a bit more of an idea of what they were coming to. We were only 17 then, so it would have been 1982. So still wasn't the internet or phones and stuff, but I'm going to put the camera around on you, but I guess you had a little bit more of an idea of what you were coming to.
We did a lot of research by newspaper, magazines, writing off to the different places over here and that, but yeah, no Google.
No.
Still cultural differences, and a rude awakening when you got here.
Yeah.
And everything different.
So you've probably kind of got a bit more of an idea of what it must have been like,
people.
these people, yeah. That's kind of, when you look at them, it makes me want to cry actually. When you actually see their faces, it makes them more real, and goosebumps with sadness, but also admiration for what they achieved. This was the first cappuccino machine here in the 1960s. Fancy a cuppa now. Talking of which, I want to give a big shout out to my lovely friend Deb, who has given me an early birthday present on Buy Me a Coffee. So if anybody else would like to buy me a coffee, then you're more than welcome to do so. You can see the Buy Me a Coffee icon at the top of my bio. So many beautiful pictures here. Julie was just saying, wouldn't it be cool if you got a photo in front of one of these and then actually went there? But all I can say is it's very, very different from the services on the M1 in England. It is really lovely here and all run by volunteers, so I've just donated $5, £2.50. It's worth it for a nice service stop, and I did manage to get a new hat badge in that shop too. So happy with that. Now just having our coffee and then we'll get back on the road. These are some of the smaller trucks over here. Julie was saying the road trains, you can get 3, 4, sometimes even 5 trailers on the back. I'm going to take a slight detour off the Pacific motorway to Ballina to go and see a giant prawn. I think that might be where we're heading. So the significance is that Ballina is well known for its prawns. It's prawn farming, and there used to be a service station here, which is now a Bunnings warehouse. And that used to be on top of the roof, and you could go up into it. That's McLean, and McLean where we were the other day, so we've driven all up here, stopped at Ballina, that's where the shrimp was, or the prawn, and we're just around here now, and we've got the carry on all the way up. Had to stop so I could get my shawl out for my knees, because they're getting very red and burnt in the car. So we're now in Tweed, which is one of the fastest growing areas of Australia, and where I'm actually standing now is in the over 20 million year old huge shield volcano which stretches right out to Byron Bay, and it was one of the areas that was first spotted by Cook in 1770, and he called it Mount Warning. It was also developed a lot more as well when they came up here looking for a new penal colony from Sydney, and it started to develop, and they started growing sugarcane, which is still a big trade here, along with banana growing and cedarwood as well, which they replenish. Julia was just saying as well, though there's no camping here, you can actually sleep for overnight, nobody whinges, no one complains. They'd rather actually have you off the road, and there's big signs every 2 hours to stop, rest, revive. One of these caravans, the great off-roading ones, they push up and everything, like the best of fun. Mountains, which look really lovely. I know, you like to come to the Sunshine Coast, the Sunshine Coast even, and it's raining. Welcome to the wet and rainy and dull Sunshine Coast. On top of that mountain up there. Well, 447 kilometres and 6 hours later we are here. Oh, the mountain air feels so fresh. It feels so lovely. It smells delightful. Just going to go and find out our little apartment is one of these. There's a few little apartments here. Go see where we are. I'm hoping this is apartment C up here. Look, there's a barbecue area, splash pool, infinity pool. 13 days in Australia and my first sight of a pool. I've been in the river once, but I'm looking forward to getting in there. Have you found it? Julie's found it. This is C. A what?
The fan's on.
The fan? Ooh, desk. Might be using that. Oh. Kitchen area. Ooh. Well, this is very nice. Don't mind this at all. Bedroom. Ooh. Magical mystery tour. Oh, what's in there? Oh, that's the cupboard. Won't be doing any hoovering either. Wow, look at this. Toilet. Shower. This is a bargain actually. It was £235 for 3 nights, which isn't bad in Queensland. And then we haven't got a washing machine. I won't be using that either. There's lots of stuff I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use the desk or the hoover or the washing machine. Unless we absolutely have to. And this is another bedroom. With another shower. Very nice. And relax. Julia, have a look at that chair over there.
Dragonflies.
Hello, Andy. You could give us a chance to get settled in before you come scavenging for food.